In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to crochet this Sunburst granny square using just one solid colour. As you can see, it's a really beautiful textured square that has an heirloom vintage quality, which is what I really love about it. Today I'll be using this Rowan Summerlight DK cotton yarn in the shade Plaster, but feel free to use any yarn you like. Just keep in mind that your hook size should match the yarn that you've selected. I'm going to be using this 3.5mm crochet hook, which works well with the DK weight yarn. You will also need a pair of scissors to trim your yarn, a yarn needle to sew in your ends, and you may find a stitch marker particularly handy if you're just starting out. I will assume that you are already reasonably familiar with the basic crochet stitches that are used in this pattern, which are half double crochet, double crochet and treble crochet, so I won't take too much time to go over each of these stitches individually, but take your time and feel free to pause and rewind the video whenever you need to. You will also find a free written version of this pattern over on my blog, which is linked in the description box below. And if you enjoy this tutorial, I really would appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment to ask any questions or just to say hi, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss future tutorials. Alright, gather your supplies, get comfy, and let's get started. Now we're going to start with a magic ring, so if you're not familiar with how to make one, I recommend checking out my beginner tutorial on it first, and I'll have that linked in the description box below. If you would prefer, a regular chain 4 loop will also work just fine. So making our magic ring, we're going to chain 2. It's 1 and 2. Now this counts as your first double crochet. Normally you would chain 3 here, but I'm chaining 2 to make this chain stitch a little more inconspicuous and to minimize the gap at the end. Now this will become clearer later on when we join the round. So now we're going to go ahead and make another 15 double crochets into the ring. So yarn over, insert your hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's your first double crochet of 15. Now, just to make finding this stitch a little easier at the end, because we'll be joining into the top of this double crochet we just made, not the chain 2. So you might want to pop a stitch marker into the top of that double crochet stitch. Okay, so we'll continue on making the double crochets into the ring. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now just take a moment to count your stitches here. You should have 16 double crochets in total, including that starting chain 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now pull the yarn tail tight to close the center of the ring. And then to finish the round, we're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of this first double crochet, not the chain 2. Insert your hook through the top of that double crochet stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook. And you can see that the join is neat and seamless without any noticeable gaps or bumps. And that's round 1 complete. Now we're going to create those signature petal-like stitches with a round of puff stitch, followed by a round of cluster stitch that gives the Sunburst granny square its texture. So for round 2, to begin, we're going to chain 1. This doesn't count as a stitch, it just gives us a little height to start the round. Next, we're going to work a puff stitch into this same stitch where we just joined the previous round. Don't worry if you've never made a puff stitch before, I'll walk you through it step by step here. So yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over again, and pull up a loop about to the height of a double crochet stitch. Now repeat this 2 more times, yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. You should now have 7 loops on your hook. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you're going to yarn over one more time, and with your hook pointing down, you're going to gently pull through all 7 loops on your hook at once. Then you're going to chain 1 to secure the puff. And that's your first puff stitch. Now we're going to continue around the circle by making 1 puff stitch in each stitch, remembering to chain 1 after every puff to secure it. So by the end of the round, you'll have a total of 16 puff stitches, each with a chain 1 space after it. So working the second puff stitch, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and repeat 1 more time, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 7 loops on your hook, and chain 1. Now you just want to continue around the circle, making a puff stitch with a chain 1 to secure it in the next 14 stitches. So pause the video and meet me back at the end so I can show you how to join the round. Now I just wanted to come back in here with the last puff stitch just to point out that there is a stitch here, right there, right there at the base of the chain 2, and that's actually where we're going to make our last puff stitch. So don't miss that one. So this stitch here at the base of the chain 2, we're going to make our final puff. And then chain 1. So by the end of round 2, you should have 16 puff stitches and 16 chain 1 spaces. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So to close the round, we're going to slip stitch into this first chain 1 space, not the top of the puff stitch. So inserting your hook between the 2 puffs into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through the loop on your hook. And that's round 2 complete. So now with round 3, we're going to work a round of cluster stitches. Let's start by chaining 2, 1, 2, and we're going to be working in the chain 1 spaces. So we're going to make a cluster of 4 double crochet stitches together. So let me show you how to do that. We yarn over, insert your hook into the chain 1 space, yarn over again and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, leaving 2 loops on your hook. Repeat this 3 more times. Yarn over, insert into the same chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through the first 2, leaving 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops only. Now have 4 loops on your hook, and one more time, yarn over, insert your hook into the chain 1 space, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops only, which leaves you with 5 loops on your hook. Now you're going to yarn over and gently pull through all 5 loops. And then you're going to chain 1 to secure the cluster, followed by another chain. So now we're going to continue around the circle by repeating the cluster stitch into each chain 1 space, remembering to chain 1 after every cluster to secure it, followed by another chain. So by the end of the round, you'll have a total of 16 cluster stitches, each with a chain 2 space after it. So working our next cluster stitch, yarn over, insert into the next chain 1 space along, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the same chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and one more time, yarn over, insert into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops on your hook, and then chain 1 and 2. So if you'd like to repeat that all the way around your circle, meet me back at the end so I can show you how to join the round. Okay, by the end of round 3, you should have a total of 16 cluster stitches, each with a chain 2 space after it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. To close the round, you're going to work a slip stitch into the first chain 2 space. So yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. And that's round 3 complete. So with round 4, we're going to be turning the circle into a square. I was going to start by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is going to count as your first treble crochet. In the same space, we're going to work 2 more treble crochets, followed by a chain 2, and then 3 more treble crochets. And this is going to create our first corner. So yarning over twice, insert your hook into the first chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's your treble crochet. So making another treble, yarn over twice, insert your hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So including the first chain 3, we've got 1, 2, 3 trebles. I'm going to now chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to make 3 more trebles into the same chain 2 space. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And that's the first corner made. In the next chain 2 space, we're going to work 3 double crochet stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3. In the next chain 2 space, we're going to work 3 half double crochets. So yarn over, insert your hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. That's your first half double crochet. I'm going to work 2 more. That's 2 and 3. And then in the next chain 2 space, we're going to work another set of 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. Now we're back at a corner space. So in this space, we're going to repeat our 3 trebles, followed by 2 chains, and then 3 trebles again. So making our first treble, that's 1, 2, and 3, followed by 2 chain, and then 3 more trebles. 1, 2, and 3. And that's the first side of our square complete. So we're going to keep going around the square like this, with the sides between corners having 3 double crochets, followed by 3 half double crochets, and then another set of 3 double crochets, and each corner having 3 trebles, followed by 2 chains and 3 more trebles. So working the next side, we're going to work 3 double crochets into this chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to work 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to work another set of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And that brings us to another corner space. We're going to work 3 trebles, followed by 2 chain and 3 more trebles. So working our first treble, our second treble, and our third treble. Followed by 2 chains, and then 3 more trebles. 1, 2 and 3. So if you'd like to go ahead and make the next 2 sides and corner, meet me back at the end where I will show you how to make an invisible fasten off for a seamless look to the top of your square. So when you reach the beginning again, rather than slip stitching into the top of the chain 3 to join the round, I like to finish with an invisible fasten off, which gives a more seamless look to the top of the square. So to do this, you'll first need to snip your yarn, leaving about a 15 centimetre tail, and pull that yarn through your stitch and threading the yarn onto your tapestry needle. You're going to find the top of your first treble stitch of the round, not the beginning chain 3. So there's your chain 3, there's your treble, and there's the top of the stitch. You're going to go under the top 2 loops from front to back with your needle and pull your yarn through. Then next you're going to go down the center of the last double crochet, which is the same space as your yarn tail is coming out of. Going to go back down the center through the back and pull that yarn through. You'll now have a long stitch separating the first treble and the final double crochet. And this long stitch will sit atop of the chain 3 that begun the round and will make a nice top for it to blend in with the rest of the stitches. So gently tug the tail to pull the stitch tighter just until it blends with the rest of the stitches. So just tug it until the stitch size is the same as the ones next to it. You can then flip your work and weave your yarn tail through the stitches on the back of your work. I like to make my way down to one of these cluster stitches, like so, and then weave it back and forth through one of those. You can then go ahead and snip your yarn tail. Grab your yarn needle again. Thread on the starting yarn tail and weave that around. Weaving it back and forth a couple of times. To make that nice and secure. And snipping off that yarn tail. And that's your solid colour Sunburst granny square complete. If you want more defined edges to your granny square, I do recommend blocking it. You can see this is one I have already blocked, and it just has much more defined, neater corners and edges, which makes it a lot easier when it comes to sewing them together. You can make a whole stack of these in different colours or keep them all the same. It's totally up to you. They look beautiful on their own as coasters, or you can join them together to make stunning blankets, scarves, bags, loads of different projects. If you'd like to learn my favourite method for joining granny squares, the flat slip stitch join, I've got a separate tutorial for that too, and you'll find that linked in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed making this with me. If you did, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below. Let me know what project you're using your granny squares for. Thanks so much for crocheting along, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.